Cool. I think your camera may look better than mine.
Funny.
I know.
Isn't that great how that works?
That camera is actually not bad. That is not a bad little camera.
We've got 2 people watching.
All right.
Yeah. One of them might be myself. I don't know. But.
Entirely possible.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. Let me just. I have to hit my own button that says it means being live streamed. You know.
Hi, Jeff Bishop.
Oh, Jeff's here. Awesome. Hey, Jeff. I don't see your chat, so I'm glad you saw it, Michael.
Yeah, I got speech chat. Picked that up real quick.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, Doug. Welcome.
Hey, Doug.
Is your chat working?
Not entirely. But okay.
And
all right. I should restart it. Someone chat again. Welcome, folks. We've got a lot of people watching. This is awesome. Happy Saturday, everyone.
Yeah.
What a day this has been.
Oh, yeah. It's been an interesting day.
Oh, man.
It's been an interesting couple of weeks.
It has. I've been running the roads today like crazy.
Yep. We should kick this thing off officially.
Am I recording? Well, if someone could chat me, Michael, I want to make sure before I kick this thing off. Here, Jeff. There we go. We're working. Hi, Jeff. All right, ready?
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks.
All right. You want me to kick off, Taylor, or you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 3. Yep. Thanks, Doug. We are on a slightly different setup, but we'll talk about that in a second. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Techopolis episode. I'm Michael.
And I'm Tay.
And we're back with another episode. And we're trying a little bit of a different setup today. Taylor, why don't you tell people what computer you're on?
I'm on the gaming computer that I inherited from Michael, and if you want to know more, we've got a video on our channel about me setting that up. So you all should go check out our channel. I should put a link in the description after the video. But yeah, so that is what we're going to be doing, is this gaming computer that I got from Michael, this Asus I don't know what this is.
Republic of Gamers,
Republic of
Zephyrus
Gamers.
G14.
A very long name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing with Windows computers. They have longer names.
Yeah, so I got this computer from Michael, and it works out really well. I use it for a lot of things, work, right? Because I have to use Restream Chat. That's the one thing that's bounding me in Windows, is I have to be on Restream Chat, which requires Windows.
But I'm finding that speech chat's working pretty well, too.
I'm finding that is too. I've just had a lot of problems with it in the past, so it may be something I explore.
And the doves find that very interesting, too, outside.
Yes, and also our Discord bots also find that interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is pretty awesome. We haven't done a Techopolis Live in a while. But we've been, buying a lot of new tech. In fact, Taylor's just gotten some new headphones that we haven't even unboxed yet.
I know. We need to do that. Really, this is the thing, Michael. It's tech, and I haven't unboxed it yet. What is wrong with me?
But, you've got some other new tech. You got some glasses, right?
Yeah, I got the Razer Smart glasses. Or whatever they're called.
Yeah, the Razer Smart glasses, yeah.
Yep.
So, talk about that. How have those been, and what have you done with them so far?
Those have been really great, and what I've done with them is use them for navigation. So they actually work really well with Microsoft Soundscape, and I use them to be able to navigate. I tried to use them today, and I almost got to where I was intending to go, but, just a little bit of my O&M skills, afraid to cross a parking lot. But I was able to literally use the smart glasses, the glasses to be able to understand where the place was away from me, and I was able to use Soundscape, and it worked fully perfectly.
Mm-hmm. And, the funny thing is you were about where you were trying to go. You just had to make that stretch across the parking lot. You would have been there.
Yep, but I was obviously afraid to do that because, confidence. So.
Mm-hmm. And the neat thing is, too, One of the Taylor's actually using a piece of tech that I purchased, and that is
the
yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know what the sentence you were gonna say is, Michael, but
I got squirreled by a chat message. What makes them smart is that they work with your phone. They're Bluetooth headphones, and they work with Siri and all the things. But they also have a gaming mode, which is pretty interesting. Taylor's using a piece of tech that I purchased, and I think you want to get one yourself because this is a very nice little item. The gaming computers that we have
don't have webcams.
Do not have webcams. So I bought the Asus ROG IUIES camera. It hooks up with micro USB, which is kind of sad. But you hook it up to your computer, and it's a really good streaming camera. It even comes with a little stand you could put it on and use it for different things. But I think Taylor looks better on that than
my Mac.
Than her Mac, and even my Mac's 1080p camera. That's just my thoughts on that. Like, if she gets closer, so people that are using vision, just be a little aware. We're about to do this. Taylor, can you move your face closer to your computer? Let's see what it does. Okay, see, like the Mac camera and others will turn different colors, or, you can back up now, and different things as your face gets closer to the computer. That keeps in focus. It's really a nice camera. Funny thing is, on Zoom, unless you select HD, it does not look good. It drops frames. So
yeah, Michael, a couple questions in chat. Doug Oliver asked, how much is this camera?
This is a $70 webcam, and it also, Tay, I don't know if you know this, has beamforming mics on it. So we could try using it instead of the Yeti, and I wonder how well that's going to sound for streaming and things like that.
Yes. Do we want to put a link to that in the description, Michael? Maybe you can send me a link and I can throw that in the description
I can do that
later.
We'll share an Amazon link. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's blurring her background, but I could clearly see the light on in our bathroom and things like that, even with the blurred light. It's a lot better detail than what you get on a basic potato cam, as they call a lot of webcams.
Nice.
So, our whole goal with this was to talk about new tech, and I got a lot of new tech too. I got that camera, and I think Tay's going to get one as well. She got the CAD U2 headphones, which we're going to unbox. All of this in the hope of getting a better microphone set up for her gaming computer, because the built-in mics are
they're pretty terrible. Y'all have probably heard them if you watched some of the recent streams.
And I have not tried the ones on my new gaming computer. I love my new gaming computer. It's based off of real tech, so
Yeah.
Which is also interesting because not all games do this, but I was playing Doom Eternal on my new gaming computer, and the sound was actually offset from the game, which is kind of strange. So.
Okay, yeah, that sounds, awesome, Michael, that you're trying to do Doom Eternal, but your audio is not keeping up with your video.
It's strange, yeah. And Doug, I'll catch up with you later. But yeah, it's really interesting, with what, these gaming computers, they're so powerful. And Tay, why don't you talk about how this one's almost kind of replaced your Mac?
Yeah, I think I want to do a whole other episode about that, Michael, because all the different ways, but I'll just get into the details of the big picture here. Maybe if y'all want another episode about going the whole Windows route, let me know and I can do another episode with Techopolis Live. But the short version, Cliff Notes, are that, if I can even speak tonight, y'all. Well, my Mac computer served a great purpose, and it has served me for a while. My work is also very Windows-centric. My job is Windows-centric. Also, development on Windows is just a lot easier and a lot more accessible in a lot of instances. So if I'm coding, it's a lot more accessible. And so, well, I love my Mac. Unfortunately, for a lot of things, Windows still is the easiest thing to use. Now, obviously, for creative stuff, Mac is still the way to go. But the only problem there is that you may be bound by things like Restream Chat, where I have to use Windows because I need to get my chat messages.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Now,
So it's kind of a hard thing to go through there.
Now, in saying that, though, with that webcam, you could actually take that webcam that you're using and take it off your screen and put it anywhere.
That is true.
And, that makes it a little bit more freeing. So you could have multiple of those, put them in different angles. And that's kind of cool, too, to think about.
Yeah, that is.
So, like, when we do unboxings, if Tay gets one of these, then we could actually have multiple shots. So we could actually use multiple cameras with that. I mean, it's not as good as, like, the major YouTubers out there, but it's a start. So I'm kind of excited about it.
I am as well.
So is that big vehicle going by.
Yep.
That's the one thing about the Yeti. It picks up everything.
I know.
Wow.
Including that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Really? Is
Sorry,
that necessary?
I don't know. I think there's something going on at the Capitol tonight, Michael, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get more. There's
going on.
I know, but there's some huge event apparently, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's more of that. Y'all, we live by the Texas Capitol, and there's always something going on.
Yep. So we've got the new tech. We've been playing with a lot of new things, and we've been looking at different ways to just be more productive and more efficient. And so I guess one of our other things that we've been looking at is subscriptions. And we were paying for like 1Password for Teams.
Right.
And we were like, do we really need that? And the answer was no.
No.
So we moved down to like the family plan.
Right. Now, it was cool in principle to have Techopolis.1Password. Whatever. But is that really necessary? And especially me now, I don't have a business really. I mean, I have my side training thing, but I don't really have a business that's formal.
Well, and there's no reason to really have that.
Exactly.
It doesn't serve a purpose for what we do, right?
I mean, it kind of used to, but not anymore.
It had a small purpose, but nothing compared to what a lot of businesses use it for.
Correct.
So, it makes more sense just to use the team-based, the family-based for us. And even just a personal account is cheaper than doing the teams. So, I highly recommend people, there are these things out there, but just look at what the options are before you buy.
Yeah, because you may not need all the features of the higher tiers.
Mm-hmm. Same with Office. We were paying for a higher tier of Office.
Business Premium.
Mm-hmm. And we were using Windows 365, which we determined we didn't need that. And Parallels can do just as good of a job if you need it on Mac. And then we got the gaming computer, so we switched to a family version of Office. So it was interesting.
It was a lot more efficient.
It's a lot more efficient. Mm-hmm. And even looking at things like Netflix and all the TV services, there's some overlap. So it's like, which one of these services do we need, and which ones are just nice to have? Because, I've been using Netflix since 2008. I found that out today. That's crazy.
Wow, how'd you figure that out?
Logged in my account to look. But apparently Netflix, a little bit of news bite here, Netflix is going to start requiring people that are not in the same household to either pay more money or not have or be kicked off Netflix if somebody else uses their password outside of the living area, which a lot of people do. For instance, my mother uses my Netflix account. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So, question there: how are they going to detect that? How are they going to know when your house ends? Like how?
Location.
So, are you saying would it be state based?
No. geolocation based, so they can detect that your IP address is based out of Austin.
So, yeah, really? So then when she comes back to Austin, I wonder what happened. Like, it's really weird. Interesting.
Well, if she comes back to Austin, it's fine. But if she's using it from Conroe or Beaumont, Texas,
Then she's in trouble.
they're gonna know, and one of us is not gonna be able to use Netflix.
Huh. That's a little bit interesting.
So
it's interesting.
Netflix, I think they're gonna lose more customers over this, and
If they keep this up, they will.
there's a few shows that are like on Netflix, but a lot of the stuff I could either buy. I could buy a TV season and have it forever instead of paying $20 a month. A good TV season's about $20. So, and at 4K. All the other services are a lot cheaper than $20 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So, find it kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
So, we've been talking a lot. So, what do people in chat think? Tell us some stories. What new tech do you have, and what subscriptions are you getting rid of? Or do you have any questions about subscriptions that you want to get rid of or want to be able to improve?
Payon, thinking about canceling our Netflix account. Yep, that's what he says in chat.
A lot of people are. A lot of people are. Because, Stranger Things Season 4. I do want to see that. But I'm curious if they have Stranger Things in the iTunes store. If they do, it'll eventually make its way there.
Right. It's like, can you get away with not having Netflix? I mean, you may have to buy things, but it's kind of better than the alternative.
We got rid of SetApp. And, SetApp's a great service, great company, especially if you can't afford your apps. Like, if you're a Mac user, you can't afford your apps, and, you just need those applications. Great way to finance that. Useful, but at the same time, that's $9, $10 a month.
Yep. I saw this YouTube video that said everything is $10.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I can't really agree more. Everything is $10, but then it adds up $10 here, $10 there, $10 everywhere. And it's not that we were really trying to penny pinch. Well, that was kind of the secondary part of that. That's really not that's why I said penny pinch. That's really not the intention. At least that's what my intention wasn't. I mean, that was kind of a good effect of it. My intent was I want to make myself more efficient and cut down things I don't need.
Mm-hmm. And we have Apple TV Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus, and a few others. But the goal was to save money from not having cable, not to get so many subscriptions. Oh yeah, Paramount Plus, can't forget about that, and HBO Max. Yeah, they keep adding up. But it's not to have so many subscriptions. We're paying for cable. That was the whole point of cutting the cord. So, when you're starting to have that many subscriptions, it's not really that worth it.
No. And then what happens? Then it kind of becomes a question of what do you do?
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting stuff.
It really is.
And it's interesting that, Netflix is kind of on the chopping block because they keep raising their prices. Now, keep in mind, Amazon has recently raised Prime's prices recently too. But Prime has more than just Prime Video. It has Prime, free shipping and a lot of other perks. So, part of theirs is they just acquired more movie industry companies, and that's why they're raising their rates. But that does not, Netflix really hasn't changed.
Right. It's not like they were to get more value for what you're paying.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Even like Microsoft Office plans in the business world were going up.
Yep. Everything has to go up, inflation and all that fun stuff. But,
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of increasing value.
Mm-hmm. And the more money you save, the more money you could put towards like Hearthstone and Hearthstone Access. And the game was down for the Hearthstone Access was not playable for a while.
No, like a week and a half or so.
And we're so glad that the developer who's been making the mod got it working, because now it's playable again.
But it brings it back to the point. Blizzard, make your games accessible from the default. We already know it can be done. So,
Right.
At
least that game can be done.
Yes.
Somebody's proven it's doable. So I think that game companies should look and say, "Hey, wow, this is doable. Let's make this work."
Yes.
So, yeah. So it's some really cool stuff. We've been playing around with that. We've been working with Flutter. There's been some new announcements with Google. Google I/O happened, and if you want more information, there's loads of channels where you can learn about that. But I really like the sound of the Pixel Watch. That's thing, with the domed top and all that and rounded edges, really looks and seems like it's a neat device. It's what a watch should be. I mean, I love my Apple Watch, don't get me wrong, but if they rounded that thing off and made it, a round watch, that would be so cool. But what do you do? It is what it is. But this is the first Google device with Fitbit technology built in the Fitbit app. So that's kind of exciting that acquisition is finally going towards somewhere, right? And then we have the Pixel 6a, the $450 around dollar Pixel phone. That's pretty neat. Kind of competing with the iPhone SE there.
Yeah, honestly, same kind of price point.
And then we have the Pixel 7 coming out later this year with the second generation sensor chip. That's about all we know about it. And the Pixel tablet, I'm really intrigued by this. Samsung already has a tablet out, but the S8. So that's going to be interesting to see what Google does. And then they have new Pixel Buds, I think, and all that kind of stuff. Usual equipment. The tablets, my tablet and the watch are very interesting. I'm watching both of those. Pixel 7, okay. But I'm really excited about the Android stuff they announced. New accessibility features, except for Braille. I feel like
that kind of got
heard they do not have HID support for Braille displays, which is kind of dumb.
Yep.
And then we have Android 13's in beta, so that's pretty cool. Check that out. And then we have a lot of developer news, like Flutter 3.0, where you could build macOS apps. That's pretty exciting. Although material-based macOS apps are kind of weird, but at least they look the same on Windows and Mac. And I kind of feel like Google's like, well, we want to push our material design to everywhere, so it's made by Google products.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You can use the Cupertino design, but it will only work with the fonts that are on iOS and macOS devices. So
wonderful.
So that's fun. So do we have anybody in chat?
I haven't heard it in a while, but we'll just keep going. But yeah, if anyone's here, and even if you're in the comments later on, say hi. We're going to be responding to comments, and we've done a lot of channel updates, so hopefully you guys have liked these.
Yeah, we'll talk about some more of that in just a little bit. And we have my least favorite thing that was announced was the death of the iPod by Apple.
Oh, Michael went on about this for days, y'all.
Oh yeah, it's on Twitter. You can see.
Twitter rant.
Mm-hmm. So the iPod was the perfect everything. It was the best of everything for everything, except for, of course, being a phone. The iPod was the cheapest iOS device that you could buy, and it could be a book reader. It could, to me, if you didn't want to buy a Victor Reader Stream, if you're blind, or any of those book devices, you could buy an iPod and have a distraction-free way to listen to your books and music. It wasn't related to your phone, and it had a headphone jack. And Apple just didn't want to support it anymore. And it made a good handheld magnifier, so if you didn't want to buy a Ruby or a expensive handheld magnifier, you could buy an iPod Touch, and it was a great little magnifier. So they were very useful, and I feel like Apple didn't see the use of these, why people use these things compared to the iPhone, the iPad, and the Mac. So it's dead. Now you could get a Kindle, a Fire tablet to do something similar, but that's 7 inches. But
that's not the same effect.
Right, you can't fit it in a pocket. So
now what?
I think there's some devices that are Android out there that you can get. I think Sony actually came out with a new Sony Walkman that's digital only, probably runs Android, that's meant to play audio only. But still, I think that Apple not having an audio like music device is kind of
missing out.
I feel like that was kind of the bread and butter of Apple for a while, was having a audio device that could do what it does and do it so well with the iTunes Store. So I kind of feel like they made a bit of a mistake in canceling the iPod Touch, but that's just my opinion. And again, I could go on about that for a lot longer, but I will spare everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
So what are your opinions on the death of the iPod? Do you think it was a good thing or a bad thing, or what do you think will replace it, or things like that?
I think the iPod, while it was a great device, I only had like one of them for a very short time. So I think the iPod, is a very good testing machine. Like Michael was saying, you could test things with it, in terms of like apps and things. And again, I'm very sad that it's gone for the people who really used it a lot. But again, it's kind of one of those things where technology changes so much. Just like, well, I guess the end of that era is done.
Yep. And there's been some really cool, like the history of the iPod. You can watch This Week in Tech. They've done some. Renee Ritchie's done some of those. Really cool stuff just to kind of go back through and watch the history, because the iPod really brought Apple out of the dark ages, so it's kind of cool.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then, but yeah, and so we have WWDC in a few weeks. I'm really excited about that. And new books coming out, all that kind of stuff.
Yep, Global Accessibility Awareness Day was this week.
Yeah, talk about that, Tay. What happened on... well, we got some Apple announcements.
We did, and that's mainly what I wanted to talk about. I can go talk about all the Accessible 360 webinars, but, I don't think that's the mentality of our audience. I don't know if anyone wants to hear about the DOJ Justice Guidance for Web Accessibility. So I don't want to deal with that on a Saturday night. Yeah. No, let's talk about fun things like Apple's accessibility features. That sounds more like it.
And this was kind of a sneak peek, and
very quiet.
Yeah, well, they made a big press release.
They did, but I'm saying it wasn't at like a huge event. That's
right. And there's going to be some cool stuff. Door detection. It'll tell you the signs at the doors, what's there, the hours of the business. I'm really kind of excited about that, actually. It'll tell you if the door's open, or closed, how to open the door, if it's push or pull. Really exciting stuff.
I am as well. I'm really excited.
There's going to be apparently new voices and voiceover, they said. Also 20 new languages, new voices and 20 new languages, so that's exciting. and I'm sure some new voiceover features. There is a new feature on Mac that as you're typing, voiceover can do formatting checking to make sure that your formatting is done correctly. So that's kind of cool. It can check capital letters and punctuation and that kind of stuff. Also, there's a new, I think there was like a color checking to see the text color and things like that, if I remember right.
Huh.
So
these are features that other screen readers have had for such a long time.
Right.
Is VoiceOver finally getting modernized?
They're trying to, I think.
That is really promising.
Although it's interesting that they've singled out the Mac. I think it would be nice if iOS had those things too. But
oh, of course.
If it doesn't already, it may.
Right.
But it's interesting, that they're bringing these things out. There's also live captioning. I'm kind of excited about that because, you'll be able to. It'll show text on screen whenever you could have it, for deaf and hard of hearing. Whenever people are talking, they can get live captions. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
A lot of features there. Apple Watch mirroring. That one, is actually kind of exciting to me because as a low vision person, it would be kind of nice just to be able to do things on your watch without having to actually be tapping around on your watch.
Huh.
Like, say you're going through a bunch of settings, and that's kind of a little cumbersome on the watch. To go through your apps, find settings, do what you need. But if you could just grab your phone and you're already on your phone, you could just change your Apple Watch settings. That kind of makes it a little easier.
That does. Even as a voiceover user, I wonder how that's going to work in terms of voiceover. I think it would be the same, but that could be a lot of efficiency growth. Efficiency boosting.
Yeah. So that's kind of exciting.
It really is.
So, there's a lot of other accessibility features that Apple announced. Those are just kind of the highlights. And the ones we find interesting. So, the next thing is we just gotta wait for WWDC. Taylor, has this convinced you to put the beta on any of your devices?
Yeah, I said that, y'all, I'm not going to put the beta on my phone. I literally said that as a direct quote. I'm not going to put the beta on my main device. You wouldn't believe what I'm going to do this year.
Well, I actually had a thought about that. And I would not still put it on your main phone because your phone does not have LiDAR.
Well, and that was the next problem I was going to address because I'm like, my phone doesn't have LiDAR. I've got a problem because hopefully with the supply chain shortages, I can get a new phone. But Michael, what's your thought? And no, I don't want to put it on my iPad because it'll just be too big to carry around.
No, but if you want to test it before you get your new phone, you could put it on your iPad for testing.
Yeah. But again, I'm mainly using it for the travel features. That's really what I want to test out.
Right.
If you guys don't know me, you guys know that I am all out and about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I go here, I go there. And so my main uses of all this stuff would be trying out the travel features, but I don't want to try that out on an iPad. I mean, I care about the other features, but
yeah,
that's too big.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
The good thing is you do have a work iPhone, so.
Well, I wasn't worried about that because I have a work iPhone for this reason because obviously I don't want to use my personal iPhone for work.
Right. And so you'll have a stable device to test on and your personal device for whatever you want to do with it.
Which is probably put the beta on it. Now again, I'm hoping to get a new phone, but those Apple shortages, I don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see there. But I'm pretty excited about it. And,
I am as well.
We always talk about other things during these shows, and there's been so much, going back to subscriptions and Netflix and all those things, there's been so many good shows and movies and things come out, and it's really exciting to be a fan of science fiction right now. Star Trek just ended, Star Trek Picard, fantastic season, highly recommend it. Star Trek Strange New Worlds kind of is a prequel to the original series from the 60s. and I really didn't know how much of the how much they're expanding on, and it's really kind of incredible. This week is Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's going to be really good. And then we just finished Moon Knight from Marvel. The Doctor Strange movie that just came out was good. There's so many good properties that are coming out now with content, and I'm really excited that we have such a range of things, now to watch and to experience. It's difficult just to go through it all and just to stay up to date, and so it's really exciting. I feel like there's a while, we had science fiction through the 2010 through the 2020 decade, but it's really picking up, and it's really exciting. There's always something interesting on TV, so it's really cool stuff. So books are also good. Expeditionary Force is about to come out with the next book. There's always some good books out there, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah.
Same week as WWDC, Michael's going to be one busy person.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That I am.
And, we're planning a bunch of trips in terms of traveling, and, apparently the Austin airport's been a nightmare. That's what I've been hearing, so fun times.
Yep. But I'll tell you what, I like this camera setup, and even for my Mac, I think the camera you're using will look even better for use with a Mac than even the Mac cameras. So
that is shocking.
That's kind of exciting. Really impressed by how that looks.
That is very shocking, Michael. You are such a fan of the Mac camera. I mean, you still are, but that is shocking to me. I'm very shocked to hear those words come out of your mouth.
I know. I might look and see if they have a version of this camera with USB-C support. So this one's a good one, but I'm going to see if there's an updated version of it, because that would be pretty sweet.
That would be.
Well, let's give folks a minute to chat and voice your thoughts, and I think we're about to wrap it up, don't you think?
Yeah, and again, folks, if you, are enjoying this, go ahead and smash that like button, ring the notification bell, and stay tuned. We've got a lot more episodes and content coming, more Hearthstone and programming tutorials and reviews and all sorts of fun things, so you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, and we'll have a lot more content. I'm just kind of curious, what people's thoughts are on our topics. So, and it's really interesting. We've done some work on the channel today, and we've renamed it Techopolis Online, and that kind of goes towards the company's called Techopolis Online Solutions, and the website's techopolis.online. So it kind of goes more in line. And we have a new YouTube channel URL, and I didn't know that we could do that, but I'm hoping that that's going to help us get subscribers and get people involved. So I'm really excited about that. So please share the channel URL with as many people as you can. Get them to subscribe. We have all kinds of neat content. I've got some really cool programming ideas that I'm going to be working with, like working with Flutter, working with Swift UI, working with Windows and going between that, and some different I would like to try some machine learning stuff, so that might be some stuff we try on the channel as well.
Yeah, so y'all don't want to miss it.
So subscribe, turn on notifications, like the videos. Let's really push the channel to the next level, and 200 subs. That's my goal, my next goal. So if we could get that would be great. So yeah, Tay, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm gonna go play some Hearthstone. I was about ready to win a battleground, and Hearthstone crashed. We both had to start the episode late because I was trying to win a battleground. I was a top 3.
Wow. So we're gonna go do that, and we might actually, I might start a clubhouse room.
You know, I was just thinking that we should do something. What do you want to start? I can't. If I can even articulate my thoughts, what do you want to talk about, Michael?
Just a general technology chat while we play with technology. And that actually, before we wrap up, this kind of brings up another thing back to subscriptions. What's the best streaming solution? We're looking at those too. Restream, Streamlabs,
StreamYard, Stream Elements.
Well, Stream Elements, been hearing is not accessible at all. So.
Well, it's not, but I'm just throwing it in the mix.
Yeah.
We've thrown everything else in the mix, so.
Mm-hmm. So, it's interesting to kind of look at all these things and say, which one's the best bang for the buck? And which ones are we going to go with? So we're looking at those too. So we'll probably have an update on that in the future. So it's good stuff.
Yeah.
For all the food fans out there, can't miss y'all. Bayonne, looking at you. We had Taco Bell.
We did.
For dinner this evening. So leave us chat messages. What'd you have for dinner? We want to know.
We have a chatter. Michael.
Welcome. Yeah, welcome. We're glad you're here for we're wrapping up, but we're glad that you joined. And we've been talking about all kinds of things tech related. And
let us know if you have any questions. And
we do take tech questions during the show. So
or if
really
you want to know more about Techopolis, just ask us. I think you may be newer to the channel, so feel free to ask us questions.
And we need to make sure that we add these last 2 episodes that we've made to our playlist, because we do have a Techopolis Live playlist, I believe.
We do. Yes, so we will try to add those. It's very unfortunate that when I schedule them, I can't add them to the playlist on Restream.
Yeah, that would be nice. And we also we're working on, for all you podcast fans out there, we are working on making this into a podcast. They won't be edited, so just keep that in mind.
Sorry, folks.
Yep. What you get is what you get from YouTube. We may chop off the beginnings and the very ends based on things like that, but that's it. You're getting the raw deal. So if it sounds good, if it sounds bad, we may throw it through iPhonic. It may be nice.
Who knows? We might flip a coin. One week we might be nice, another week we might not be nice. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just kidding.
And who will get the coin the next turn? Oh wait, that's not her. We're not.
That's Hearthstone. Michael, I kind of want to play some Hearthstone now. Goodness.
Yeah, we probably will do that while doing a clubhouse room.
Maybe we should do a clubhouse room playing games while talking tech. I don't know.
Yep, we might do that. So, if you have Clubhouse, meet us there.
Come and join us.
We have a Techopolis Club, so
we do.
We will probably be making the room there. So, really exciting stuff. We're also kind of waiting for thunderstorms to come through. Although, I think we may be getting told one thing and what actually happens is different. So the weather people are like, it's gonna be terrible, and it's kind of going
well, I know. And then, like I said, it was about terrible for my family last night, but luckily they didn't come face to face with a tornado. So that was a little bit crazy. Crazy Michigan gossip, because y'all know that I'm in Austin right now, so always have to keep up with what's going on with my family. So
Yep. All right, folks, that's going to do it. We thank all of y'all for being here. We've gone for almost an hour, so that's great.
We have, yeah. And again, if you guys have topic ideas, throw them in the comments. We want more comments. And apparently my watch is telling me that I need to stand up.
All right, well, with the watch having the final words, we're out of here.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.